based on the advice from other groups, and we have yes, we have made a lot of modifications, and your comments and advice are very wonderful. So thank you very much. Okay, and our topic is write a diary, and we focus on past simple tense, and our target students are lower intermediate students such as P4 or P5 in primary schools, and the lesson duration is 90 minutes, and if you divide into 2 lessons in 2 days, because normally one class contains only 45 or 40 minutes. And then let's begin. Our lesson objectives are as following. First one, distinguish the past tense, past simple tense form, and also we focus on the ability of students whether they can predict the past tense form when encountered a newly learned word by applying in grammatical rules. So we also talk about some rules. And third one is use the corpus to search the past tense form of verbs if they encounter some difficult or new words. And also use this tense to describe their daily life. Also, their ability of collaboration with their teammates to solve problems. The first day is an introduction to past tense. In this section, the teacher played a video of past simple tense, and the students need to circle past simple some words from the transcription of the video. This video we found it in YouTube, and we can see a little of this. It's a very short video and simple enough that can make students
grammar and spelling are important.
Have a basic
essays that inspire
understanding of these tense.
Good morning, Sally. How are you?
I'm great. What did you do yesterday? We went to the park. What did you do in the park?
We flew kites.
And we make the transcript. We will distribute the handout to our students, that when they watch this video, they can circle the words with the past tense, past simple tense form on their handouts. And step 2 is discovery of verb form of past simple tense. This is hands-on activities for students to do by themselves. We choose COCA because COCA we can search all forms of one verb in COCA. I think this is very useful for us to teach students to do this activity because it's simple. And it's also meaningful because we don't just tell the rules, the form to students directly. So we show the website and the one important thing I forgot. The classroom arrangement. We divide students into different groups, and each group will have one computer and one whiteboard and some pens. So I think it can help students to do this activity by themselves, so they can search the forms in the COCA, and we give the table 1, 2, 3. It contains different types of rules of words. For example, worked, just add suffix ed, and lift, just add d because there is a silent e in the end, and the cry, stopped, and the wake, this is irregular ones. So, and we divide 3 students into one group contains 3 different students. So there are 3 tables, and these tables are printed in different colors. So, for example, students who get the orange paper, they finish the table 1, and then the green papers, the students who get green paper finish the table 2, and the pink paper students that's the table 3. And before this activity, I will ask them to predict, just a simple predict, and then they can search on Coca by themselves. And after that, the students can share with their partners, with their group mates, to share their findings, their answers, and then they can fill in this blank to discover the rules. And the teacher will give the demonstration like this with the answers, the correct answers on the screen. The students can listen to teacher and also can write down the rules, combining their own discovery and their own finding. And then the step 3 is discover the simple past simple of be, because I think be is a very linking verb is a very different from other verbs. So we also find another video talk about the because we think that students from primary schools, they love videos and the colorful
Good
things.
morning, Sally.
So,
How are you?
sorry, sorry, I find I insert wrong. This student, they can
What is
watch this
the
video.
past simple of be? We can say he is tall. He was short. This is called the past simple tense. We use the past simple to talk about the past. He was short is the positive. What is the negative? The negative is he wasn't short.
So we also
Wasn't is the contraction of
design
was
this
not.
table for students when they
Here are
are
some
watching this
more
video.
examples.
They can write down the findings
I was a
by
police
themselves
officer.
to discover
wasn't
the
a
usage
police
of
officer.
be, the linking verb. Because linking verb, when used single, the past simple tense is was, and if for plural, that is were. Yes, it's different. So we also want students, they can discover this rule by themselves. And then is to write the step 4 is to after this students share their answers after completing this table, and the teacher will invite some students to share their findings. I think this is a feedback, an important feedback for students to do this task, and also give them the reasons to do this task. And the step 4 is to write a class diary, because students, they just learn this grammar. So I think if they write the diary themselves, it's a little bit difficult. So I think we can write a diary in a whole class. I think that will be an easier beginning, and then the teacher asked the whole class to write a diary together to remember. We assume that the class celebrated teacher's birthday together yesterday. They have a birthday party for their teacher yesterday. We assume that. So the teacher will ask the whole class to write a class diary together to remember this party. And then each group is asked to write a sentence with the implication of the picture on their worksheet, but they need to write down the sentences on their whiteboard, and the pictures as following. We hope that these pictures can provide a better, a good scaffolding for students to write this sentence. And if students they have difficult to discover this simple tense from they can search it on Coca. And the teacher also need to monitor the class. They need to provide give a hint if necessary. And after finish this task, students need to show the sentences to the whole class, and they also need to write down the other groups sharing. Then every student can form a whole class diary. This is for the first day. And for the second day, step 1 is to watch the video and do role play game. This video is the same as the first one of the first day, the simple dialogue, because in the second part of this video it's without sounds. Students can watch the video without sounds, and the teacher can divide different groups, assign different roles to different groups. Then students can also do role play activities to remember, to revise what they have learned yesterday or last lesson.
So what is this video? The one that you have just played?
Yeah, this one. Sorry. This one, because
Thanks. Delicious.
Let's role play.
because in this part, second part, the video without sounds. I think we can divide group 1 to act as the boy, or group 2 act as the girl, that they can do this such role play game to revise what they have learned yesterday, and also prepare well for the next step, because next step is to do a mini interview. I think students from primary school they may refer to, or they prefer to move around in the classroom. So we design such activities. First, students get the worksheet like this. The first one is the demonstration from teacher, and the second one is the worksheet the students have. And students need to write down a sentence to describe what they did. For example, Mike, they need to write what he did yesterday on this worksheet, and then each student is asked to interview 2 different people from other groups, and then write down the classmates' name, and write down students what the students did yesterday on the worksheet. Then they can talk with each other. They also can move a little bit in the classroom, and then they also can revise what they learned in the classroom yesterday. And then the teacher also invite some students to share what they did and what their classmates did yesterday. And the step 3 is the gap filling exercise. And this is an individual work. We think individual work is very also important. And this is an exercise, but it's about Kung Fu Panda. I found this video from YouTube, and this is the transcript, and I hide the words and give the initiative for students to write down the past simple tense. And then after they do this after doing this individual work, students can share with their group mates. This is also a good chance for peer checking. And then I want to give the answer directly to them. I will let them to watch this video and correct by themselves.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
So good to see you, Paul. I can almost put my weight. Look at everything. Where did I come from? You came from this. It was just another day at the restaurant. Time to make the noodles. I went out to the back where my vegetables had just been delivered. There were cabbages, tunas, radishes. Only there were no radishes.
So the students, they can watch this video carefully, and then they can correct them by themselves. I think this is also very interesting for them, because if teacher just give the correct answer directly, maybe they will feel bored. And then it's a group work in step 4. They need to write a group diary. And students are asked to write their group diary with different mission cards and then write the diary on the whiteboards. In this section, please see Appendix 1. This is Appendix 1. We have done 5 mission cards. Like first one, go hiking, and Disney park, go to the other places, and also sport meeting. And students, they need to write They need to write the group diaries according to these mission cards. And each students, they need to write at least one sentence, and they can also draw some pictures on the whiteboard. I think colorful students, primary school students, they like some colorful things, and the teacher needs to monitor the class and provide some help if necessary. And after that, students invite some of groups to share their group diary to the whole class. And after finishing all of this, and this is the homework time to write students' own diary at their home. This is also an individual work, and the students after learning this grammar structure, pattern, they need to write their own diary at their home, and it is a good opportunity for teachers to check individual understanding. And that's all. Thank you.
Yes, please feel free. I think Beatrice and Judy are very hardworking. You received the comments and you have made a lot of changes.
Yes, because we also look at our others.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful, and we made a lot of modifications. So thank you for your comments.
I especially like the new part on the rules. So it's point 5 there.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
This is newly added, right?
Yeah.
So the students together have to work out the rules.
Yeah, they work out the
Set
rules. Yes.
For the past tense.
Yes, they write down the rules, and then the teacher invites them to share, and if necessary, teacher can correct or tell them the correct form.
And also you have included the first video as the language input.
Yeah. Because before our Ni Jing, she has comments on our plan. She gave a very good comment that we didn't have enough introduction to this past simple tense to students. So we add this part. So thank you very much.
About that video, because one of the steps was the students have to circle the past simple
Yeah.
tense, right? So is it actually a new topic to the students, or they have learned something about it before? Because if they don't know, then you ask them to circle, they won't circle the correct thing, right?
I think the students they know the usage of present simple tense and
But
other.
they have to know what past tense is to circle past tense. So I think maybe you can have to introduce something to them before you ask them to start.
Yes, maybe we can explain to them that past tense, this word form, maybe is a little different from the present time.
At least tell them maybe the meaning, like we use that for something.
To describe something happened in the past. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the meaning of the use are important.
Yes, yes.
Since there's so lot of
Yeah.
anything about the meaning of the use
Yeah.
of the past.
We also think that if we combine the dialect like class diary and the group diary and the personal diary together, the students they know that we can use past simple tense to write our diary. It's meaningful. It's a meaningful grammar structure. Yeah, thank you.
If you would like to choose like diary as the final output stage, then for the input you should also give some diary sample to them because they don't know what diary is separately, right? And I think if actually diary is a KS1 level text type, so they should be able to write them on their own. It's not very authentic to have a group diary.
Okay, so okay. We can also offer some examples, right?
Yes.
For them
that will be more that kind of support is better than like giving them chance to write a group one and then an individual one.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if it's really a diary, then I think you should include something that looks like a diary, like the
The date and so the weather,
Uh-huh.
the day, the weather.
And also throughout it seems that your focus is on actions, like going to the Disneyland or
Yeah.
going hiking, all are about actions, the past tense. I think in our diary we also include our feelings.
Our feelings, emotions. Yeah, we can add more feeling things in our update lesson plan.
Especially now you want to talk about the verb be, the different forms of be. Then when you use be, then probably you can talk about the feelings.
Yeah. That's a good point, good suggestion. Thank you. Yes, because we think be is different from other verbs, so we also add some part for the linking verb be.
To make that part better, I think you can also try to use corpus search in that part instead of the video. Not because the video is not good, but since this is a corpus.
Corpus for verb linking verb be, right? Yes, we can search some sentences from the COCA that the students to discover the rule by themselves, and also to discover that we can express our feelings by using the linking verb be.
Yeah, you can expand that part.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, about the exercise on the panda,
Okay.
plan filling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under the picture, I can find fact you there. And
Yes.
do you expect the students to put down the subjects as well?
No. Just
So what should be the answer for these two?
fed you and gave you a bath.
I brought you inside.
Yeah. Because I just transcript it from the.
For someone to come looking for you, but no one did.
Maybe I need to make some explanation to the student know more clearly about this exercise, right?
So what are the answers again? I brought you inside and then full stop or
Fed you. Okay.
is it a comma or
A full stop. A full stop.
And brought you inside. Fed you.
Okay.
Gave you a bath.
probably yes, maybe to change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe change a little bit, make students more easier to understand.
This is grammatical to us.
Yeah. Okay, thank
And
you.
that should be feed instead of fed.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you.
What more comments? Thank you.
Thank you for other groups again because your comments are very wonderful. Thank you, useful. Okay.
Okay, let's have the third group. Doreen and Sylvia. And your topic is on the existential sentence.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our group decided a lesson plan to teaching secondary school students about accidental sentence,
Which level of the secondary school?
especially the upper intermediate. So we use several corporas, COCA, BNC, Vasa Tutor, and we missed the objective here, so let me introduce a little bit. We aim to display students' understanding of the use and the general subject-verb agreement in accidental sentence. And we also demonstrate students' awareness of different types of essential. I mean the structure in accidental sentence. And the next one is we also address the common mistake. Like there have this kind of mistake in using accidental. We found a lot of mistake in students' homework. And the last one, we help students to use accidental sentence to indicate the existence and introduce the topic in a very interesting game and meaningful writing homework. So let's start our lesson. So in the first part, we choose a video for illustration about the accidental sentence, and we present this grammar structure in a meaningful context. So, what's wrong? Let's see a little bit.
Hi, Mum. Are you having a good time? Where are you now?
Can't you remember? You have to guess then. I'll give you some clues. It's warm and sunny, and it's the
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, when I arrived, there were fire-breathing dragons in the streets.
Really?
Yeah, totally crazy. Hey, I'll send you a photo.
Wow, that looks a bit dangerous. Were there any accidents?
No, it seems to be quite normal here. They're used to it. Now there are giants walking down the street.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there are some examples can be found in this story, although there isn't very so much examples, but I think it's enough because we use accidental to introduce topic, and in our test like conversation, so we don't use you always use there are. So I think this story is enough for students to raise their awareness of this grammar pattern. And then student read the tips. The tips is about explaining the accidental sentence. So after they read the tips, they can summarize the meaning of the accidental sentence, especially there is a dummy pronoun. It carry no meanings, so it just introduce a topic or something existence. So in this presentation stage, we talk about the meaning of accidental. Now let's move on the problem solving stage. So next part, we collect many examples from corpus, and students read the lines below and under the verb after there and highlight the following pronouns. In this step, we hope students can generate the subject-verb agreement in accidental sentence. Then after they found this sentence the verb and the noun phrases, and they fill in the table. And they might also find some rules, the general rules, because in informal context, subject-verb agreement in accidental sentence, it's not always like this. And another problem to solve is the different types of extension of accidental sentence. And all this example is from corpus. And we design a consciousness raising activity. So they study the concordant lines and work out the structure in the accidental sentence. We saw many comments from my friends, and they saw this part is a little bit challenging. So we thought a teacher can modify a little bit, because like the first one, the extension is a relative clause. If your student haven't learned relative clause, you can delete this part. You can just focus on the most common structure, like prepositional phrases to indicate location, and the adjective to indicate the temporary state, like the present participle clause to indicate someone's state. After that, we decide a proofreading activity for our practice stage, and students should use what we have taught before, like subject-verb agreement, the different type of extensions, to design whether the sentence are correct or not. And we strongly recommend this part should be individual work, because it also can be a signal to the teacher, student, whether they have know what we have taught before. And so far I have talked about presentation stage, problem solving stage, and the practice stage. So let's invite my partner Sylvia to introduce more about our lesson plan.
So next part is the F part is little researcher. We designed this part because we found
many students do make mistakes in constructing existential sentences, especially they will usually add have after there. Instead of just telling students this kind of sentences are not acceptable, we would like students to investigate these problems by themselves after using the corpus to do some researches. Yeah, so these brackets here actually are left for them to fill in after they doing the researches. Because when they translate they have this sentence into Chinese, it seems quite normal. It sounds like they will think why you cross out this sentence. It's correct, right? So we can use this way to show them why they cannot use these sentences. And also in this way we want to inductively guide them to get the correct format, sentence structure, and at the same time to help them to deeper understand and memorize this thing, and then hopefully will not hopefully can avoid making the same mistakes in the future. And since we discover our students want to add some verb after there, so we will guide them how to use corpus to search some existential verbs. So they can follow the step 1, 2, 3, and then they will get a list of concordance lines here. But they have to analyze each sentences to see whether there are existential sentences or not. So you can see, for example, here. You heard David right there say that is a cave by House Republicans. So there actually is an adverb. So this sentence is not a accidental sentence, right? So they have to distinguish different kinds of sentence in this activity. So if you find it's very challenging for your students to complete by themselves, you can we suggest it can be your pair work, or some classmates may think there are something missing in this part without any follow-up exercises or activities. Yeah, because we just want to raise students' awareness in this kind of mistakes appearing in their assignments, and we don't want to be so greedy. Don't want to spoon feed them with so much information in 2 hours. So